Like I was saying, have a little faith in God. Jesus spoke, if you have the faith as small as a mustard seed, you can look at this mountain and tell this mountain to move, and it will move. So it's important, first and foremost, of course, to have faith in God. And moving on to back to where I say fear paralyzes us, we are the only obstacle standing in our way to a successful life, the life we want. We are the only obstacle, not what your aunt said you cannot amount to be, not what these haters say you can't do. Only you are in charge of your life, and you must take responsibility for the things that didn't happen or the things that did happen. Only you are responsible for your life, and like I was saying, you're the only obstacle standing in your way of it. 3 things you should note. Besides this, no one tells you no. You tell yourself no. I love this testimony by Walt Disney. He was told no over 100 times by banks denying his request for a loan to build Disney World. He lived in his office and literally lived off cold beans to make his dream come true. And I don't know about you, but a lot of people would be discouraged after they heard no 100 times. But it was his dream. He understood the notion, you can't tell me no. Only I can tell myself no. Yeah, I can accept you telling me no, that I can't get this loan. I could go back to my office eating these cold beans, but what would it have been for? I let you stop my dream. But and the reality is, if I would have accepted that no, I only let myself stop me from this dream. The 3 things you should note. 1, you are not your past. I don't care where you came from. I don't care if you came from the projects, if you came from a broken home, your mom was on drugs, you got abused by people, you were raped, you were promiscuous. I don't really care what you did in your past. God doesn't care. He doesn't forgive you. He's approved of your life. And you should really let that go. You are not your past, and you should not let things that happen to you bind you down. I know a lot of people out there like to use it as a crutch. They like sympathy, and they feed off I don't know, I guess they feed off of people feeling sorry for them. I'm not that type of person. I'm just guessing right here. But you know, a lot of people use it as a crutch, and a lot of people use it as fuel for the motivation. We all come from backgrounds that have a sad story. Everybody's got a sad story, but use it for motivation. If you came from the projects, be like, yeah, this is what my mom was, this is what my mama's was, but it's gonna stop with me. I declare it today, and I speak favor over my life, and that's what you should do. You should speak favor over your life. You should speak favor over your loved one's life, your friend's life, and even your enemy's life. You know, God's will in this earth is for us to love each other and support each other and be there for each other as He does us. So speak favor and speak victory over your life, like Joel Osteen would say it. 2, you are not the product of your environment. And that's really a statistical term to me. When people say, you know, if your mom had you at 16 and her mama had her at 16, that you're gonna be another statistic. To me, I don't got to be the product of my environment. Tyler Perry, it was hilarious. He said, you know, just because, you know, your mom was a stripper don't mean you got to be a stripper. You know, you're not a product of your environment, and you need to accept that even if you come from a family that didn't amount to anything, you're not your social class. You are not any label that society wants to give you. I live my life by this notion. I know no labels. I have no rules to go by but what God gives me. And when I say that to myself, it automatically breaks down all barriers around me. I don't see those barriers no more, because the only barrier I know is the ones I place on myself. And I know God does not want me to place barriers on myself, and He doesn't want you to place barriers on yourself. So no labels. Don't let someone else define you and what you're capable of. Define yourself. 3, take responsibility for your actions. Don't say because of this happened in my life. No, you caused it. It was probably your fault 9 times out of 10. I'll say 10 times out of 10. Whatever consequences come into your life, either good or bad, you caused. And I know a lot of people have, that's a hard pill to swallow. But once you accept this, that you are 100% responsible for what happens in your life, either good or bad, it gives us the empowerment to create the life we want. If I got to take responsibility for my actions, that means I'm going to pay better close attention about what I speak out to existence. I'm going to take better attention to how I treat others, how I treat my family, how I treat people I come in contact with. When you take responsibility for yourself and your actions, it can really change our outlooks on things, because at the end of the day, life is going to move on whether you act as a coward or a hero. Life has no other discipline to impose. If we would realize that and accept life unquestionably, everything we shut our eyes to, everything we run away from, everything we deny, degrade, despise will serve to defeat us in the end. But what seems nasty and painful or evil can become a source of beauty if faced with an open mind. Every moment is golden for the person who has the vision to recognize it as such. Misery is an option. You're in charge of your happiness. Happiness is an option. Just like your life and what you do, it's an option. Hard times, they're going to hit us. Suffering's going to hit us. Bad things cannot be avoided in life. That's just a part of life. We need those things to help grow us and mold us and get us prepared for the next level in life. So we have to really learn how to embrace our suffering and the things we go through the hardest. We have to learn how to embrace these things, because God wants to fellowship with you in your suffering. He wants to be there to guide you through the storm. And we're so quick to, oh Lord, bad times are here. I got to run through this as fast as I can. But there we go again, not numbering our days. But God wants to fellowship with us in our suffering and our pain. And He wants to teach us lessons. So every moment is golden for the person who has the vision to recognize it as such. Like I was saying, misery is an option. Yeah, I got to go through these hard times, but I don't got to be miserable. I don't have to have a bad attitude about things. I don't have to mope around and cry about things. That's a choice. Just like people talking about you, I could feel bad about it. I feel sad. Oh, they don't like me. But I'm not that type of person. I don't really get down very easily. It takes a lot to bring me down. It has to be something disastrous to my family to get me to a level. Nobody has control over your emotions but yourself. If someone hurts you, you don't have to flip out or act like a cat out of a bag about the situation. You could come back to a state of peace and calm and meditate about the situation for a little while and pray upon it for some peace and some guidance out of the situation. But you don't have to fall out and cause a scene and act, have drama and then blame it on that person because, you started all this. No, they didn't. You called that into existence. That's really your fault. That falls back into, taking responsibility for your life. But with that being said, I'm going to cut this off for part 3.